So, good, wonderful morning, everyone. It is Saturday, and we are just starting the stream and about to continue off with where we left off yesterday. Now, before we do that, recently, guys, I have been having the most weirdest dreams. Right, like last night, I had this dream. I was first of all, I don't condone doing drugs and don't do drugs, but I was having this dream where I was doing coke, right, and then I was talking to this girl, and then she's like, "Let's do coke together," and then that's what we did. And then like it's the most stupidest shit, right? And then like I'll be hooking up with her because she wanted to do coke with me. Naturally, like in my dream, I would have not gotten this far because like I know in real life I would be like kind of awkwarded out in that situation. But for some reason, I just said, "Fuck it, let's just go with it," and that's what we did. Yeah, very very out of context, but yeah. And today when I was just doing meditation, guys, I was thinking about so many things. Right? I was thinking about like just not just not showing up today. I was like thinking about maybe I should just like my mind was distracted. Right, my mind was thinking about maybe you should just watch some TV. Maybe you should like just play some video games, whatever. And then I was sitting there in my meditation. I was like, David, why don't you just spend some time and look into why you are thinking like this? And I did. I was trying to find out exactly what that thought was making me feel like. And I tried that to really investigate like what do I feel like when I have this thought of watching TV? And how do I actually feel like when I actually do it? And all I could feel is just emptiness. It is like when you don't care about something, you just don't care, right? You don't like get angry at it. You don't like you don't like agitated by it. You just like you have this empty void. And sitting there for like 2 minutes straight, that's literally all I could feel about. It's just like this empty void, right? So then again, I was like, okay, maybe that's what I will actually feel like when I do watch TV. Just empty, just plain sad and depressed, right? Because that's how I feel like when I sit there and meditate. And then this thought of fame, right? Me positioned next to these famous celebrities taking photo, and I felt very, popular and I had status. And then I investigated that thought, and what that brought me was just excitement, right? It was just joy and excitement. It was as if like just butterflies moving around in your stomach. And then I realized at that point, okay, so if fame and success makes me feel so enthusiastic and just ready to just jump out of my skin and then just go crazy, then maybe that is my body telling me something. My mind is telling me something. Maybe that's what my soul is telling me something. That is something I would truly enjoy. But watching TV, like that's what I feel is only just, like emptiness. And I guess at that point, I had the realization that, okay, if I get out of my meditation right now and I choose to watch TV, then I would exactly feel just lonely, depressed, and empty. But if I then get out of meditation and do something that will eventually give me fame, status, success, then I will always feel excited and animated. So I guess then the decision to make is pretty clear. However, a lot of the times we still tend to make the wrong choices, and that is something I'm still a bit unsure of as to why. Like, if we know what we should do or what we should be doing will make us feel much better than just doing something horrible with our lives, then why is it that a lot of the times we still succumb to those negative emotions? And from what I think is really still a discipline issue. But there are still days where you would wake up and you still don't want to do it, right? There'll be still days where you still want to break your diet even though you are lean as fuck and you look amazing. You still want to like just, you have these thoughts. But now, coming to more of a realization and reflecting more about it, I think every single time where you do tend to make the wrong choices, or when you do tend to um, just give in to your lower state of being, is especially when you lose that awareness on what it will feel like when you actually do it. For example, if today I didn't investigate my feelings of why I need to watch TV or why I want to watch TV, then perhaps I would conclude that the reason why I want to watch TV is because I'm burned out, I'm tired, I am like I deserve it because I've been working so hard. But really, after investigating it, it is only just a thought. It is like a storm cloud passing by you. And maybe if I was burned out, maybe if I was truly overworked, then how I felt when that thought came into my awareness would perhaps be different. And exactly what it is, I'm not too sure, guys, because I have to say that I I don't really pay attention to my thoughts as much as I would think. And ever since paying attention to my thoughts more often, I realize that there's always an underlying emotion behind it, whether it is a negative emotion or a positive emotion. So today, by really honing in on how I felt, made me write the right choice. And this is infinitely like if you like honestly guys, I wish we could always make the right choice. Like I wish we could always just, turn off this thought of uh ruining your life up and shit. But things happen and you just have to understand why it is happening to you now. In most cases or not, it's just your mind trying to pull yourself out of shit. It's just your mind trying to pull yourself out of your own responsibilities. Like think about your mind as one of your friends, right? One of those bad friends that will always drag you down when you are succeeding or when you are changing. It will always drag you down. And that really then depends on your own sense of maturity or immaturity. Like, are you willing to set the boundary and say, no, I am not gonna stay with you, right? If you're gonna do drugs, you can do drugs without me. Or you're gonna be that guy who's like, nah, I can't leave my friend. I gotta be with him, right? I gotta do things with him. I can't just leave him like that. And this really is a similar type of attitude you have with yourself. But most cases or not, we tend to be more lenient on ourselves because we think that is us, right? And that is us, and we can't change because how can we change if we think like that? But you have to understand, like, your internal self and your present self is different. Or should I say, your past self and present self is different. Think about your voices in your head as your old mates, as your old self, right? Your old self with bad habits, your old self with uh, traumatized past, and your present self is the person you want to change right now. So they are two totally different people. And I think the moment when you start to realize that those are two totally different people, it will be much easier for you to be more responsible and accountable for your own actions now. Because you no longer have this belief that, oh, I can't change because this is who I am. But no, you think like that because I know it's difficult to really feel that your internal self, like your thoughts and your conscious is different, but they are literally are two different things. Anyways, before I just rambling on into an hour of talking and losing my beautiful jawline. Literally, guys, this mewing shit, I swear on God, is just bullshit. It's literally. Anyways. Let's get started. So, last night we left off with some amazing shit. Alright, amazing shit, guys. Let me just clear this mountainous cold. So, what we did last night is we were about to start creating our task components. I mean, we completed that, but we're trying to link up our task component with our database. But then we ran into some problems and realized that our database we were working with was actually just local, meaning that if we were have our app online, we are not gonna get data sync across all users, and that isn't exactly what we want. Therefore, we had to make some changes, and well, AI pretty much did all the changes for me to change up the database structure to use real-time database. So now every time a post happens, it is fetched, synced, updated across all other users who do tend to use this app. And obviously, we still have to-do list here. Let's see what exactly it did change last time because let's see what we did. So I said to continue with phase 3.1. Let's see. Create point structure in real-time database. Okay, so this is something I was supposed to work on myself because okay. So this is the tracking task. Nice. Okay. And again, this is something we can totally change later on. At the moment, I'm guessing it is only just plusing one, which will take a long time to actually reach my desired. Okay. It seems like it is rewriting the code though. Really does seem like it. Because we have a task, point system, probably somewhere. If not, then I'm tripping balls. Also, this is the first time of me actually seeing a real-time database set up to Firebase. This does still look like he's trying to make a full backend because I never seen this code before, right? At param. And I would definitely not be. I think that means parameter, right? That means the like this. It looks like a post ID is here, updates here. So I think because he is doing this in TypeScript, meaning that it is also something I have not learned. So I probably am just tripping balls at this stage. Update task action to integrate with point system. Task action, yep, it should be here. Await real-time service initial data UID daily time goal. I think he's still using hard-coded data though. Does seem like it, eh? I'm gonna move this over here so we can get more of the cursor and less of this, because this is more of our main working screen. Okay, this is something I definitely would implement. Category, measure points based on priority. This is something totally important. But then again, like if you're feeding the cat and your number one and you prioritize that as number one like point goal, then you're kind of just rigging it, right? Because is feeding your cat really important to the point where you can like earn more points than for say working on self-improvement or like working on something that's gonna elevate yourself, right? I guess that's also why like I didn't do urgency, which is something I implemented before in my other draft application. I was trying to do like the Eisenhower matrix, I might still do that here, but just for simplicity's sake, my first template would be just a normal add task. But at the moment, this is obviously broken because when I'm still like this tab is still being made in the scroll view, meaning that it is not creating its own little tab module. So it's taking this space and pushing out from here. So it's gonna go off screen. Unless it is just a refresh error. It is just a refresh error. But still, it is still only, yeah, that's the problem. Obviously scroll view, but like everything is there. Medium, high, yeah, okay, cool. Health related category title. That's alright, guys. That's alright. Yeah. Should have a points, yeah, point system. Home system. Do we need one in home though? Home is like a feed. Why would we need that in home? I feel like it's more reasonable to have it in leaderboards. Not even that, it's more reasonable to have the point system in user profile, like the authorized user. And then all we have to do is just display it throughout the application, right? Yeah, at the comma. What does it mean? Like you get points for commenting? Is that what it's saying? I think that's what it's saying. Like create a post, you get 10 points. That's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, you get rewarded for creating posts. I think that's something I should encourage. Especially when on the early stages of my app when it's just totally dead. Yeah, okay. Sorry guys, my parents is just like singing next door and I can't concentrate properly at the moment. Current system status. Fully working real-time features. Post, create task, create, read, update, delete, toggle completion, and all real-time points. Comments, create, like, delete, and points. Points, real-time calculation, tracking, and updates. Stats, real-time, task stats, social stats, achievements. Okay. Okay. So what if we create a post now? Does that mean we get 10 points? Let's see. Because this essentially is creating a post. New. So nothing is being rendered. Okay, that's a shame at the moment. I think that's because the profile's not in sync. Update profile status to use Firebase real time. I think that's a problem. Because at the moment, like my profile, it's most likely still in Firebase store. Which shouldn't, because that needs to be updated. As it also makes sense why. that's okay. Yeah, that's cool. Like that's being stored. This is the prompt I'm currently using. Please continue with phase. Right. 3.4. Keep in mind to check our app and make changes only until you are 99% sure is the most optimal approach. Plus, clean up any code that was Firebase that was using. Using Firebase database that is not now no longer in use. Yeah, let's do that. It's cold, guys. Not cold, cold, cold. By the way, I did not fast this morning. It's weird, like, this morning I woke up not really feeling hungry or whatsoever, but I'll still eat some eggs. And really, it's not a big deal. It really is not a big deal, guys. Because essentially, all you're doing when you're fasting is starving yourself. Now, unless you like a big bowl of pasta and you really get that brain fatigue, like brain fog, like you want to sleep after eating a lot, a bunch of carbohydrates, then yeah, you're screwed. You're clapped. But even in those days where I would have like this, 2,000 calories of just rice and chicken and stuff in one sitting for like the OMAD diet, I'll still work afterwards. And yes, the performance may dip a little bit, but if all you're doing is like following a structured routine, say for like you know exactly what you should be doing already, and all you have to do is just get the reps in, then you don't really need that much clarity to do it. It's like going to work. Like, do you really need to have mental clarity if you go to work, and all you do is just to do retail? Probably not. Like, yeah, maybe you don't have the energy to smile or not, but that's all a mindset issue. You can still fake it. Like, who doesn't fake a smile? Like, shit. Like, honestly, like if girls can fake moans, you can find a way to fake your attitude. There's literally no excuse. Yeah, Firestore. That's why the points wasn't updating. User points. Didn't we have this before? Or we just never did it? Created that daily task goal. We literally have the stats. Or are we getting rid of this? Is that what it means? Like, do you honestly think it's making a lot of unnecessary or redundant API calls? I mean, fetching like the same data like multiple times. Does look like that though. Hopefully he does remove. Don't think he would. All right. Refresh maybe. Still being yeah. Still being authenticated. And now, if we create a task, there should be no excuse to get 10 points. Unless the app is broken, which I really do think it is. So you spell points, don't think it is. Like there are so many bugs, guys. Like the amount of bugs I'm telling you is literally insane. And yeah, it's still broken. My stats is definitely not showing points whatsoever. A lot of bugs. A lot of bugs. Toilet break real quick. Actually, you know what, guys? I think the reason why there's a bug is because we didn't actually create the user base, the user in real time. You know why I say this? Because logging in does not create the user. Like there's 3 posts, right? But watch this. No user, you see? Huh, really funny. But if we like log out and let's try sign in. If we sign in and see that creates the database. Real time. No. But let's see if it will when we actually create a whole new user from sign up. Let's name this one. Let's name it Jeff. Jeff. Just 6 ones. Okay, not now. Firebase, Firestore. Okay, so the database has not been being created in real time, at least. In user, it definitely is being created. Yeah, it's still creating a database in Firestore. Jeff, see? But we can see it's being created in Firestore still because if we go to task stats, there should be a points. Or not. Maybe I'm just tripping balls once again. Where's the database? You'll be in profile. Profile reduces. This is the data structure. And it doesn't even look like the data structure we created here, which meaning there's some redundant or there are some duplicates. Badges earned. Where's badges earned? Yeah, somewhere is like somewhere we have this like messed up totally. Like this is one messy ass database. Social status, right? Status. Subscription. Like what is subscription? Features. This is one messy ass database. We need to clean this shit up. And this does not represent this whatsoever. Like you cannot even tell me otherwise. Stats. See, it's not even the same. Where was stats? Stats. It should be total task, task complete, current task, and total points. But in here, it's freaking. It's logging streak. Like where's logging streak? Like none. You know what I mean? So somewhere in my app, we are creating two separate databases or something like that, or we're adding more databases to the profile database when that should all be stored in the profile database. Right here. Like why do we need this? This is where it's tripping up. What's the simple real time? No, Firebase. Firebase services. And then we have another one literally here for real time, which is creating this massive list of just bullshit. Like reading this gives me a headache. It's not organized whatsoever. And there are a lot of bugs causing the app to not work. But that's okay because we have encountered this issue before. And that's what happens when you are not being hyper specific about a target or a thing you want to fix. And you're letting AI just run off the rails. But then again, this is at least getting the foundation set up so then we can actually focus on those hyper specific problems, which we'll cover on after we connect everything, right? Oops. How do you spell redundant? Done. Dent. Today, guys, we have to finish off our self architecture, like understand ourselves more. I was supposed to do that like 2 days ago, but because I couldn't find a worksheet on one of the WOP lessons, I was like, screw it, I'll delay it. But that's exactly the mindset you don't want to have. A problem, we should not avoid it, but find a way to overcome it. So today, even if there's no worksheet, I'm going to put time towards and doing it. Because if there's any way that I could understand to make my internal state like literally at peace, then there's nothing that is unachievable in life. Think about it. Like most of the times, the reason why we cut ourselves short is because of one of the stories we keep telling ourselves that cripples us to our potential. And also one thing I realized that could be a potential pitfall is when you rely on AI so much, you tend to stop thinking about the problem you're trying to solve. You tend to just say like, oh, you know what? AI can do it. AI can do it. And then you become lazy. And I notice in those moments when I'm lazy to make the correct and specific prompts, the result I get is just subpar. Like it's totally not what I want. So you definitely still need a clear mind to prompt. Like if you're already lazy to code, then at least be very, very like specific with your prompts. Like know exactly what you want to do. But even then, sometimes you get lazy. Sometimes you just say, oh, I can't be asked being hyper specific. I can't be asked doing this, and therefore let me just prompt AI to do everything and let us see what happens. And when this happens, I tend to get more code that breaks, more errors, and just a lot of cleanup process I have to do later on. But at the moment, I am working on a different approach. I'm gonna let it like do everything like right now, connect the front end to the back end. And I do believe that will set the foundation, and then I could do the bugs and whatnot like later on. But I'm still comparing whether which is effective and which is not. Because when you be hyper specific, it focuses on one point and it may fix the issue, but it will also totally ignore the other components of the application, especially if you have tons and tons and tons of files. That's what I noticed, at least. But guys, I cannot wait for Emangatzi's Money Online Making Challenge 2.0 to start, like literally in 2 days. I will be up on midnight watching the live videos, but my goal is to become #1 on the leaderboards. If that means putting this application on the side, whatever. Because fuck my job, fuck my life. I'm gonna get better. Literally, I will get better. It's complete. The migration is complete. Overall, there's no leaderboards ranking whatsoever, and that's because we don't have a data. Like our real time is not working. So I think the first fix we must do. Oh, what is this? That's cool. Like a little bit of a night light. Yeah. So we gotta. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm ready to proceed. What is he saying? Grept? What does grept mean? Grept. Clean up user service import, remove fallback leaderboard data correction, clean up console.log statements, remove to-do comments and implement missing features, optimize real-time database rules and error handling for real-time database, performance testing optimization, final integration testing. There we go. So now all we are doing is just making sure that we are doing a cleanup after all the changes we have made. Because that's one thing I realized AI failed to do also is once again it won't. It's a good thing that it won't make changes that it did not prompt it to do. But then again, like it should think for itself that okay, if I had done this, maybe I should remove certain changes. But then again, that's like the next stage of AI, right? To have like super intelligence AI or something like that. At the moment, obviously the app is totally crashed. But obviously we can always like just like hold on. It's like you just say it's not defined. Okay. Another import issue that I forgot to import probably. Components render faster with fewer selectors. Okay. I need to note that down. Well, the first error is at least that works. Oh. This is just like input issues. These errors are pretty easy. I mean, all errors are pretty easy to debug. What is the problem, or maybe a bit more difficult to debug, is your actual functionality of your application. If you're thinking about it, guys, like coding is easy. It's just knowing like where everything goes is a bit difficult. And I think that's very crucial why planning is super important, because then you know what to expect. Like, I wouldn't have to go back and remake all these changes if I knew the difference between real-time database and just normal database. But who knows? I mean, that's all I knew. And that's the thing, guys. You have to always educate yourself on more information, because that's the only way you can improve and know what's the best practice and know exactly what can you use to build the thing you want to build. What's up, Lucas? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the chat. We are coding an application. We are coding a to-do list. We are coding a hybrid of social media and productivity all together. And that is what we're doing. with AI, of course, because my dumbass uh, will spend countless hours of figuring out how to freaking do a function that will add one plus one together. So yeah, but I do hope you are doing well, and you are doing absolutely amazing this lovely, lovely Saturday. And obviously, I don't check chat, so that should work. Yeah. So these are all not functional, which is great. But this is then again all static, so not too. I'm not too stressed about that. What I am a bit concerned about is actually getting the correct data, because I should have the correct data. Let me remove all these posts because they're no longer my post. We done the migration, so that's better. But then shouldn't this be in Redux? I don't know why we are hard coding this every single time. Like, we don't need to have this everywhere, right? Okay, let's see. So we are currently in a demo state. If we go to our real-time database, obviously nothing. Go here, we log out. We sign into your mom. And we should be authorized. Hold on, why are we in demo state? What's happening here, guys? Are we getting a real-time database though? Shouldn't take this long to load also. Nope, still nothing. User. Do you even have a your mom? Oh, we do. It's called David, so that really should be me. What if we try sign in? Let's do sign in. Maybe it's not making the actual document. Let's do sign in. I mean sign up. Sign up. Let's name this person John. John at hotmail.com. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's see. Let's see if that creates a new document. We saw a lot of errors. All right, permission denies. Yeah, we have some errors, meaning that the document is, well, is John for sure. Leaderboards, anything? Nothing. Go to that database, anything? Real-time database? Once again, nothing, I'm guessing? Nothing. Oh wait, there's a user now. John. But let me check. If I actually create a task, I should get points. That's a bug we need to fix also, and I should be on leaderboards, but I'm not. Does that create? It doesn't create the points, so it should get points based on yeah, so I mean the database is created for sure. I just feel like the points should be within the user, right? Like, wouldn't that make it easier to read? Let me check something. If I want to change John's name, I don't think I have the button for that yet. Yeah, I don't have the button for that. So I got some errors. That's taking a long time to load. So the user can't actually access the data, it seems like. Isn't that the rules we have though? Let's see again. It should grant permission. We'll see. Yeah, looks fine to me. Leaderboards, global ranking 1. How about now if we create a task? Or better, if we go to data, do we get our database? We don't. Okay. Okay, how do we, so if we create a post, let's see. No point still. Weird. There we go. Oh wait, your mom 123. It really should be something different. It should be the username David. So something is happening here. Oh, right, because. Yep, that's understandable. Um, okay. Okay, okay, okay. I just think there's no point of creating two separate like databases for user. Like this should like nest within that, right? Yeah, that's what I think. One more day till the cut's over, and literally, I just want to just like eat food and just do nothing. Literally, guys. But then again, I get fat, and then all that shit happens, which is not what I want. don't think there's a need for separation between profile and points action. It just makes no sense. Like, this just makes no sense to me. Does it to you guys? That's what I had imagined. My hypothesis was that literally all different tabs were using their different little uh, methods of calling the data because everything was so inconsistent. But rather, like the whole point of Redux is literally making a store in one file and you're dispatching like this change to what the app looks like. So you're not making like a place to track your points in Redux, and then you're also making a place to track your points in the section of the component you want to, see changing points. But rather, all you're doing is saying, all right, I already have the data here. Therefore, I'm grabbing the data from Redux in this file, and then all I'm doing is updating the points to call the action that is using this data from this file. You don't have to make different datas in every single tab because that's just making, it's making it so inefficient. It's like, like if you're gonna brush your teeth, you brush your teeth at home. Do you go to like the toilet and brush your teeth? Do you go somewhere else and brush your teeth? Like no, like your purpose is to have a clean teeth. So you brush it once, you pick a place you're gonna brush your teeth, and no matter where you go now, your teeth will be white because you have brushed it in one place, and therefore it should be done and left alone. Because yes, you can brush your teeth, everywhere you go, but then you may get a brighter teeth, but also like is inefficient. You're wasting time. And to have a quicker loading UI means saving time, means saving re-renders, will lead to better user experience. Yeah, we don't need all this. We actually do need tasks though, because we're gonna work on that later. So before profile was using simple real-time service, which is something we are using now, plus fetch user profile. Home was using auth selector plus profile selector. Leaderboard was using its own separate user state. And task was using auth select current user. All components uses select user data from the profile store. Single real-time listener, no duplicated API calls or fetches, consistent data across the app, changes made, profile component, home, task leaderboards, current data flow, Firebase, real-time database, simple real-time service, listener to profile, plus single, plus towards single, set user database dispatch, Redux, user data, and then all UI components as it should. As it really should do. There we go. Look at that. Now we're talking, baby. Now we're talking. Oops. and this should give me 10 points. If not, then my post and my point tracking is messed up. Yeah, okay, so my points is messed up still. Okay, so let's clean up the board. What else do we want to add, guys? So the points is definitely not being rendered properly. And what else should we change, guys? What else do we need to fix? Well, there's a lot to definitely do, that's for sure. So now, guys, I'm gonna take a break, go downstairs and cook my chicken breast for the meal for the week, and go to the gym. When I come back, I will have time, and I am going to start doing my self-reflection or self-architecture, whatever you want to call it. And it's gonna be a tough session, guys. But when I come back from that, go to work. It'll be about 6 or 7 p.m. when I come back, and I'll have about like 2 hours or 3 hours left to do a little bit more work on my project. And I have listed out exactly what I think is possible for me to accomplish by the end of today, which honestly I think it'll get done easy, but it'll pretty much just be making sure the point system is actually working, is actually syncing, and that it will update. Obviously, it will make changes to my user single source of truth, and after that, we are going to and check if all stats are going to work. Meaning that if I create a task, it should go to create task, complete or whatever, and logging streak, that should work also. Like pretty much syncing all the stats to make changes to database, which again it should. The changes will only really be contributed to the components right. For example, if you create a finish a task, then that component should therefore run a function that will add a +1 to finish task, right? Which is easy to do with the AI especially. And after that, we're going to fix our styling issue for our create task. As you guys can see at the moment, if we go to task, oh wait, up here, create task, it is taking up the scroll view size and pretty much not creating its own little tab, unlike create post. But that problem is an easy fix. We done it for home section, so it's just like an easy prompt. And lastly, we are going to fix any bugs that we can see. For example, at the moment, if we create a task, create a like this, right? Create task. If I press on this, it deletes. We don't want that. And for post, we type in a post, we post it, it doesn't go away, but the post is actually there. So some bugs that we can see at the moment needs to be fixed. And lastly, if we have time to finish off all the profile features in here, for example, edit my profile and settings, like make this all usable, because at the moment this is a bug. A lot of this is all bugs, and this does not work except everything's crazy. But this is it at the moment. I will see you guys, pretty briefly. Actually, I'll be back around like 1 p.m. or something like that, and we'll work on our self-discovery, self-reflection, some mental bullshit. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit, and yeah.